नमस्कार दोस्तों, प्रोफेसर डी.एन. मौर्या के एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट पाठशाला में आपका स्वागत है। वेलकम टू प्रोफेसर डी.एन. मौर्या's एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट पाठशाला। Today's topic is how to start export business. I will explain this in 17 steps, one by one, very simple steps. You can follow it in case you want to become an entrepreneur and start your own exports. The first step is to establish a business entity. To start any business, you have to have a business house. So we call it business entity. This could be a proprietorship firm, partnership firm, private company or private limited company. For the beginner, it is always better to start with proprietorship firm, where he can have the business in his own name. So in case of new business, when fund is a problem, when there is a problem for the fund, you do not have so much of resources, so much of money, so it is better to start as a proprietorship concern. Then after this, open current account with a bank. You can go to the bank and say, I want to start a business and I want to open a current account. So bank will do it. Remember, since you are going for export business, your account has to be with a authorized dealer. Authorized dealers means banks which are dealing in foreign exchange, branch of the bank dealing in the foreign exchange. That too, it should be always category A bank. Category A bank means they are the only authorized banks which can collect the money from the importer or pass it to other country in case you are going to import. So always category A authorized dealers, that is you open the current account. After this, you can obtain a PAN number. PAN number in case of proprietorship firm, it is the personal PAN number. Your own PAN number is becomes the PAN number. Then obtain IC code. Import export code is mandatory for import and export from India. Without this, you cannot do the business. You have to mention the IC code in various shipping forms, including the shipping bill. So to obtain IC code, you have to apply to DGFT, Director General of Foreign Trade, that you can give application online. Fees is just 500 rupees. If you want to get it done through professionals, you can pay 1000 rupees extra, and 1500 rupees you can get the IC code. So that will take about only 2 to 3 days. So these are the first 4 steps I discussed. First is establish business entity. Second is open current account with a bank. Third is obtain company PAN number. In case of proprietorship firm, it is your PAN number which becomes the company PAN number. And number 4, obtain IC code. Coming to fifth, obtain AD code from bank by submitting IC code. Moment you got a IC code, you have to go and ask the bank to give a AD code. Bank will issue a letter. The AD code is printed on the same letter. So that is the AD code. This you have to quote at many places while doing the import export. In documents you have to mention at many places. So we call it obtain AD code from the bank. That is the step number 5. Step number 6, register with relevant EPC. EPC stands for Export Promotion Council. Various export promotion councils on 23 to 25 are there as on date. So this will be in respective field like agriculture Export Promotion Council, Rubber Export Promotion Council, Engineering Export Promotion Council, Gems and Jewelry Export Promotion Council. So there are many. So depending upon which field you are going to start the business, what product you are going to export. So registered with the relevant EPC. When you register, they give a certificate. We call it RCMC, Registration cum Membership Certificate. So that you have to keep it with you. This will be used subsequently while doing the various documentation. Then number 7, GST registration. You have to go and register the company for GST, goods and service tax. Number 8, selection of product, where what you want to export. So selection of product could be either manufactured product you want to manufacture, or could be the trading item you buy from the market in the local market. Let us say you want to export the basmati rice. So you can buy from the mills. and then that becomes your product. So selection of product, you select what is the product you want to export. You want to manufacture and then export, or you want to buy from the market and export like a trader. For the beginner, it is always better to go and do the export only as a trader. You cannot set up the manufacturing plant in the beginning because the fund is a problem. You do not have so much of money. Then step number 9, selection of market and finding the buyers. Select the market, which market you want to concentrate. It is the Gulf market, it is the South America market, it is the USA market, European market. So depending upon the market, you have to find the buyer. Remember, this is the most important stage, that is finding a buyer. Any company, any business, it has got a buyer, the business will always succeed. Business can never fail. So most important thing is to getting a buyer. So the best thing generally what I suggest, that if you want to start a business, export business, do not enter directly from the college level. You try to join a company, do some work, do the service for 2 years, 3 years, try to get experience, and also try to make the contact with the buyer of the company, and then try to ensure that they have build up the confidence in you. So you have to get the buyers while serving with a company, private company, a government company, and when you decide to quit, then you just take the opinion from those customers, those buyers, those foreign buyer, whether they are willing to buy from you in case you start your own company. So that is without any much cost, without spending much money. You can just do the service in the beginning, 2 to 3 years in a company, and then try to have a contact with the people, with the buyer, with the customers, and then take them in confidence and come out, quit the job and start the export business. So this is the safest way of doing. So here you know that at least whatever you have, break-even point will be there. You can increase the business subsequently, but when you start it, you should never go into the losses. And this is only possible if you have got the proper buyer, you have got the customer. Remember, do not go with the motivational speakers. You'll find a lot of people coming on YouTube and other media, and they always say, straight away come out, go do this thing, you have got all the talents, you have talent, you have got the capacity, why can't you do it? And people keep on listening, they become overexcited, and then simply start the business and they fail. So whenever any motivational speaker says, I know that person, somebody was there 1 year back, he started business with 5,000 rupees, now he is crorepati. Somebody started with 20,000 business, now he is billionaire. So just take the contact from the person who is giving you the advice and meet them, try to find out what was the difficulty they faced, how they proceeded, and how much time it took to come up to that stage. Simply do not go with the motivational speaker's advice. You know that any company, big company, like let us say in case of India, whether it is Tata, Birla, Dalmia, Reliance, Adani Group, they all have taken about 25 to 30 years to establish. So there can't be any miracle that you go simply spend 10,000 rupees and you become having a very good or reputed company or big corporate houses. So try to be away from this type of advices from the social media. So that was the selection of market and buying and getting the buyers. Now let us say you have tried but you are not able to get the buyer. You have tried your best, but still you are not able to get the number of buyers which you are supposed to get it to come to break-even point. Then what you do, you review the product. It means it is not necessary that whatever you decided to export the same thing you should continue. You have a change your mind and try to find some other product for which you can get the buyer. So this process has to repeat 2-3 times before spending any money, single paisa. Try to see the product, look for the buyer. The moment you are sure buyer will be there, then go with that product. That is the way you have to start it. So that was the point number 10, review the product and buyers and get the buyers. Then point number 11, pricing based on costing. You have to declare the price of the goods, of the product, and basis must be costing. It means you have to first do the costing. What is the cost of the product per unit? and according to the cost you try to add the profit, whatever percentage you want to make the margin, 10%, 15%, 20%, depending upon you are a loan player or their competition, so try to fix the price. Then number 12, submission of quotation to the buyer. Moment you are ready, then somebody will send the inquiry. Against the inquiry you can send the quotation. We also call it pro forma invoice. That is your rate at which you want to sell it to the buyer. Then 13, confirmation of purchase order. Moment you send the quotation of pro forma invoice, the buyer has to confirm it by issuing a purchase order. So the purchase order you have to confirm it by scrutiny. Remember, do not get overexcited. Just to confirm it because you got the order first time, you have to read point by point, para by para, word by word. What is the terms and condition? What is the terms of payment they have mentioned? What is the Incoterms? Whether you have to supply the item to the port or to be to the CIF basis in the port of discharge or to the in place, that is the what you call it DDP, deliver duty paid. So depending upon the Incoterms you have to do the scrutiny and then only revert back to the buyer and say that this is acceptable to me or not acceptable to me. If not, you have to ask him to make the changes. So confirmation of purchase order only after scrutiny. Number 14, then look for the bank finance. Moment you have got a order, purchase order, then you are very sure that he is going to buy. Then look for the bank finance. Sometimes you can ask the buyer to open the LC, letter of credit, in your name. So that is confirmed that payment will not be a problem. And that time the bank will really give you the loan whatever you needed. So bank loan, basically you are talking about the pre-shipment finance, before you are going to ship it. So pre-shipment finance means it is the buying of the raw material, manufacturing it, and then local transportation logistic cost at the port. So you can get it, bank will ask for document you can show it, pro forma invoice or the purchase order, and you have got the letter of credit in your name. That is the best one. Bank will not ask any more questions. Okay. Then number 15, procurement of goods, raw material. After getting the loan from the bank, you can use it and go for purchase of the goods in case you are a trader, and raw material in case you are a manufacturer. The 16, obtain mandatory certificate. There are certain certificates which are required, like quality certificate, health certificate. If you are exporting the food product, then FSSAI certificates depending upon the country of export. So various certificates you have to keep in the place. And then thereafter finally you are ready, then send exports as per the export procedure. Send exports means you are now packing, you are dispatching the export from the factory or from the godown to the importer, to the buyer in foreign country. Now there is a proper export procedures, lengthy export procedure. So I am cutting this video at this point. The next video, that is the video number 24, I will deal with the export procedures. Once the exporter is ready with the products, with all the formalities what I have discussed today, point number 1 to point number 17, then we can go for the export procedure. That is the next video. So that is all about today's session. In case you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel so that you can see the upcoming video number 24 on export procedure. With this I finish. Thank you. Bye bye.